What's up guys, welcome back to another video. If you took the trade yesterday, good job, because it ended up being an absolute banger. Like literally I posted the trade on Twitter just as I promised, and the moment it hit, 20 minutes later the take profit was already hit, and I can see just a whole load of people sending me a message that, hey, they managed to make profit. And so if you're one of those people, drop a comment down in the comment section below. Truly, this keeps me going, just seeing that I'm able to help you guys. And of course, we're one of the only channels out there at the moment that is still making money, even in these market conditions. And today I'm going to continue to do my best to give you the intraday setup for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. But anyways, let's get into it. So kicking things off on Bitcoin, obviously prices starting to go lower right now, but we've already kind of established this yesterday with the fact that this is a bearish fair value gap. And price is very likely going to get rejected off of this fair value gap. And until we break above this, we're not really super clear in terms of bullishness yet. So I wouldn't be too quick to jump in on bullish trades if you're a swing trader. And the only other thing to keep in mind is that the moment you go down into the 1 hourly, there's still potential for some kind of market maker buy model to occur. Market maker sell model to occur. But given how price is reacting currently, I'm not super keen on going into a long right now. I'm going to explain why in just a moment. Anyways, even though the daily bias closed bullish yesterday, there's something else that I would like to just point out, which is the fact that you have already gotten a change in state of delivery on the 1 hourly time frame, which means that for the foreseeable future, this entire block here, starting from 114,000 all the way up to 115,700, is going to act as resistance until proven otherwise, which means that in the event that price retraces back into this area, we're going to look for shorts for price to go lower rather than to go higher. And so that's something you have to pay attention to. Now, of course, there are relatively equal highs above these levels right here, which I will definitely mark out. But at the moment, I think this bearish changes to delivery holds a little bit more weight compared to those relatively equal highs. The moment price seems to be reaching towards these relatively equal lows on the 1 hourly time frame. And so far, I think the intraday, in the event that we jump into a short today, is going to be right here at 109,500. Are we going to go there? I'm not sure. So today is one of those interesting days where your daily time frame is kind of pointing towards the upside. The 1 hourly time frame is very clearly pointing towards the downside, and so is the 5 minute. And so what do we do in this situation? Because there are some days where the setup is immediately clear, and there are some days like this where, it's just not too certain. And on days like this, I like to take this into account. Essentially, we want to ideally be focusing our trading days on the highest probability days. That means news days that have clear time frame alignment, which means the daily chart, the hourly, and the 5 minute are all pointing in the same direction. Those are oftentimes the best wins. Those are the days that we make the most money. And ideally, we want to be trading on those days rather than days like this, where, for example, if we go onto Forex Factory right now, we can see that there is no news today. News is not going to come until tomorrow. And even then, this is a weird time, right? 1:20 a.m. So today at 12:20 p.m., we have, Chairman Powell's going to be speaking. And so we can anticipate the movement today to be a little bit later, to occur a little bit later during the day, which means ideally we want to even be starting to look for trades only after 9:30 and potentially till the hour leading up to the news. Since news is dropping at around 12:20, ideally we want to be even getting into trades at around 11 a.m., 11:30. But today, basically the entire New York morning is going to be tradable. Now, the problem here, though, is that right now the daily bias is pointing towards the upside, but everything else is pointing towards the downside. So it's going to be very tough to make a call today. Now, if we take a look at the 5 minute, I don't think this is going to give us much information either. It just shows us that, London has been trading below the Asia. Now, officially speaking, though, we are still going to be looking for longs because the daily bias is towards the long side. Problem is, we got the CISD, which means ideally, price needs to go above this level right here at 115,800 before we're able to consider longs. So yeah, today's a little bit complicated. I haven't seen too many days where it's been playing out like this, especially not after huge dumps like this. So yeah, this is tough. I don't actually know what the call is going to be today. Potentially I'm just recording this video a little bit too early during the day, which means that there's not enough price action that's developed yet for me to make an accurate call. So unfortunately, I think in this video here, I'm going to have to just say that it's a no call. I would hope to record this video a bit later as well, but today's my last day here in Korea, and there are some things that I do need to go get done later on. So I'd say that there are two ways that this is going to play out. I do think one of those is going to be more likely than the other. One is you're going to retrace it into some kind of order block or fair value gap during the 1 hourly time frame plus the 5 minute time frame, and price is actually going to head towards the downside. Again, the target for today is going to be 111.100 as well as 109.500. Now, take this with a grain of salt though, because on the daily chart yesterday we closed bullish, although overall, like in terms of the bigger picture, we are bearish. This one leaning bearish towards this case because the 1 hourly is bearish, the 5 minute is bearish as well. And you're going to want to look for this to happen. Ideally, even this is the perfect block right here, starting at 112.800. And the timing that you're going to want to look for this is around 9:30 a.m. or potentially even later. Again, the whole of New York session is going to be fine. As long as you get one good, profitable 2-hour trade from this move, that's all you need. You don't need too much. Now, the bullish scenario for me, at the very least, based on what I'm reading, is off the table because like you just got a huge, massive CISD, and it's going to take quite a bit of bullish order flow in order to basically send a signal that, hey, yeah, we can start taking longs. So personally, I'm not going to be looking for longs, and I'm going to be focusing on shorts instead. Now, I could very well be wrong today. Again, there are moments or there are days out there where the call's really obvious, and I can just tell you, like, yeah, take it towards the short side, take it towards the long side. But unfortunately, today's not one of those days. I'm just going to go off of my experience and say that this is probably the likelier scenario. Of course, I will keep you guys posted on Twitter as things happen, or if I do take a trade, just like what happened yesterday. So make sure you follow me there. Otherwise, like, yeah, I wish there was a clear answer here. In the event that you came into this video wondering, like, is the bull run over? Is the bull run going to continue? I actually just made a video recently talking more on the long-term outlook for Bitcoin, as well as the rest of the bull market. So feel free to check that out. I'm going to leave the link in the description box below. But otherwise, like, let's take a look at ETH. Maybe we have a slightly clearer setup on ETH compared to Bitcoin. So taking a look at ETH, we have also gotten a 1 hourly change state of delivery towards the downside. Now, the beautiful thing about this change in state of delivery versus Bitcoin's is that you have swept out prior highs. Now, this is beautiful because it means that we're unlikely to revisit this area. And so ETH is looking relatively weaker compared to Bitcoin. And so the setup on ETH is going to be much clearer. This is the exact level that you're going to want to look for, which is 4075. The event that price retraces into this area, you're going to want to look for price continue going down. Now, of course, I don't mean that price is going to go all the way to 3800 or to 3650 or whatever. It just means that you're going to be able to take a 2-hour trade using this move right here. And that's all we're aiming for at the end of the day when it comes to these intraday trades. And so ETH, like, if there's one setup that I would prioritize more, I think it would be ETH. Just so happens that I think you have a bearish order block lining up with that level right there, 4075. Again, look for this to happen sometime during the New York morning session. And let's see if we have also a clear setup on Solana. And Solana also closed bullish, but it's currently heading towards the downside. On the 1 hourly chart, you have not gotten that change in state of delivery yet. Yesterday, by the way, would have also been a successful trade on Solana. If you remember, I was calling for Solana to sweep out these lows and then for CISD here, and off you go. So if you took Solana, congratulations. But otherwise, today is also, yeah, probably you're going to expect some kind of a sweep before some kind of upside as well. Like, Solana is looking relatively stronger compared to ETH and Ethereum. Although one thing to keep in mind is that this market maker sum model is very much in play here because you are entering into some kind of, let's see, daily fair value gap. So that's a daily fair value gap. And then meanwhile, as you are entering into that daily fair value gap, you've gotten a smart money reversal followed by a first impulse up, second impulse up. And if you break below this level right here and you start showing signs like this, that's a market maker sum model. And it's the exact same model that we used to predict Bitcoin's top back on Friday and how we managed to, start selling even since Thursday. And this is definitely a pattern that you don't want to just write off in the event that you see it. Just be careful. But otherwise, yeah, not too much to update today. But if there was one trade that I would prioritize, it's going to be ETH. And there's one thing that you guys need to know is that there's probably not going to be any videos coming tomorrow because I will be flying back home. But other than that, yeah, I'll see you guys on Thursday and I'll see you guys on Twitter. Also, stay tuned for the channel because there's quite a few very, very valuable videos coming out in the near future. So subscribe, turn on the bell notification. I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.